Back and solo the inbounder. Fuller with it! Russo in space. Service in. Oh, and he scores! Line drive off the glove of Zamora. Parker comes home and so will love it. Georgia Southern walks it off. Eagle Nation, welcome to another edition of the GATA Zone, your one-stop shop for a deeper look inside Georgia Southern athletics. I'm your host, Danny Wall of GATA Productions, and I'm here with head women's tennis coach Sean McCaffrey as the 2026 season set to go this weekend in Jacksonville, Florida. Coach, welcome to the GATA Zone. Glad you're with us.
Thanks, Danny. Glad to be here.
You're ready for your 9th season after having a couple of invitationals back in the fall. What's the excitement level for you and this team to get back out in the court?
Yeah, I think we're all really excited. We just spent a week in Puerto Rico training, a few practices every day, obviously doing some sightseeing as well, but doing some team building, and then some training and a whole lot of hitting some balls and just kind of getting ready to get back into things. And then we had our first few practices on campus the last few days. So we're excited.
When you reflect on the 2024-2025 season and what a year it was with a young team reaching the highest ranking in Georgia Southern women's tennis history at 65, you start off 8-3 in non-conference. You go throughout a tough Sun Belt competition that's scheduled there, and you have a chance to reach the Sun Belt tournament at the final game of the year. Not the outcome that you wanted, but with the experience that this young team was able to receive last year, how do you look at last season overall?
Yeah, I think everybody realizes that last year was a little bit of an enigma. I think a lot of unfinished business. We're not going to be making excuses. There's certainly reasons why maybe the season didn't finish the way we had hoped, but a lot of that comes down to a few injuries here and there. We started out the season really strong, and then we ran into some injuries as well as a whole lot of rain, which forced us indoors, and we are simply we play outside every day, so going indoors certainly didn't help us. But again, those are reasons which I hate to turn into excuses because those we're certainly not victims in that. But I know all of the women are just chomping at the bit to get started.
When you look at the lessons learned from last year, how does it become a renewed focus as you get ready for this season?
Well, I think last year's message that we started out from the very beginning and we maintained the entire season is let's not look at what the ultimate outcome is going to be. Let's not worry about the wins and the losses, being that we had 6 underclassmen, 5 freshmen last year. And we're still now this year with 5 sophomores. We're looking at, trying to find a way to have a little bit more ownership of the program. Where last year it was, let's not worry about the wins and losses. Let's just focus on the development, and those wins will come in time. And so we're hoping that if we can stay healthy and we have that renewed, faith in each other, that we're going to be fine on the court. And I think everyone's excited about that. And it also allows us to kind of take stock of, okay, how are we treating our bodies? How are we recovering after matches? How are we preparing for matches? Are we getting enough sleep? All of those things are so, so important. And when we're having to rely on 5 freshmen last year, and recovery is maybe not always the thing that's most important to them. And now they realize this year, okay, that's something we have to make sure we take stock of. And so I think everyone's really motivated, and I know I am. I can't wait to get out there.
I mean, and also with those freshmen, now sophomores, you bring back four of those sophomores that were freshmen last season. You also add a sophomore in Angelina Michirovich, who was a part of the WAC champions at Grand Canyon. She comes in with a lot of experience. How has she mixed in with this group?
Yeah, Ange has done a great job. Angelina has been a really, really great addition to the program. She's a fiery player. She's got a giant serve, maybe the biggest serve on the team. She's got a big game, and she's extremely competitive. She gets along great with the team, and she does an amazing job of keeping good energy on the court and making sure that everyone is motivated around her. So that's been a great addition to the team. Having that experience, that competitive experience of where she's already won a conference championship with her previous university, where our women have not yet. I think we've done well in the last few years, but we haven't won a championship since 21. And so having Angelina on the team and being part of the program, I think it just adds so much more value to the program.
And while you do have a lot of youth, you do have one senior on the team, Nanaka Kojima. What's her mindset and her focus also as a leader on this team in her final season?
Yeah, Nana is just first of all, she's an outstanding, sweet human. Everyone loves Nana, and she's a feisty competitor. She had an amazing freshman year, a tough sophomore year. She had an okay last year with her junior year, and I know we've talked a number of times about her excitement level that she has this year, knowing she's graduating. She doesn't have as much pressure on her now. She's ready to go out and fight. She's someone who's going to be playing every day, and so I'm excited just to kind of sit back and watch a little bit about what she does. She's a very methodical player. It'll be tough to see her go and graduate, but she's been an amazing part of our program the last 4 years.
Well, let's take a look at the season and the schedule for this season. You open up this weekend in Jacksonville, Florida against FAU in North Florida. You have your home opener here at the Wallace Tennis Center on January 23rd against Charleston. You go to Mississippi State February 6th. You play your first Sun Belt opponent February 8th at Georgia State. But we were talking, Coach, the unique thing this year is that there's not a true Sun Belt conference schedule. You are playing as many Sun Belt teams as possible, but it does change the outcome of the seeding for the tournament. All the teams make the Sun Belt tournament this year in Rome, Georgia, but you don't face your Sun Belt opponent at home until March 20th against Arkansas State. Kind of take us through what went into the scheduling process into this year.
Well, once we found out that the Sun Belt decided to vote down the conference regular season, as much as I know our administration did all they could to make sure that we could maintain that, I decided, okay, well, fine, we're going to figure out a way to play as many of the conference opponents as we can. I mean, we find that there's so much value in us playing those conference matches because we're all pretty much on a level playing field. All the teams, I mean, on any given day, you can beat those other teams and they can beat you. So we wanted to make sure that we played those teams. So we're actually playing out of the 14 schools in the conference, we're playing more teams than any other school by probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 matches. So we're playing 10 conference opponents this year. I found that everyone was excited to be able to play with us, and so we wanted to make sure that we got as many conference matches on the schedule, even though there's no real SBC league standings. Everything at the end of the season is going, when it comes to the conference tournament, is going to be dependent. With seeding is going to be dependent upon the ITA rankings at the end of the year. So we need to make sure that we do well, we perform well. But yeah, so it was unique this year and going forward. We're hoping that at some point in the future we can get a conference regular season back, we hope. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to schedule those matches. We find that those other teams are strong. They're great competitors. We all get along, the coaches and whatnot, and they're always really spirited, fun matches. Maybe a little bit more so than other non-conference matches. So I don't think our women are going to think twice that, okay, is this College of Charleston we're playing, or are we playing Troy? When we play Troy, they know we're playing Troy. So I think we're really excited about the upcoming schedule that we have.
You actually face Troy to finish out the year on April 18th. You also face the defending Sun Belt champions in Old Dominion on April 10th. Final question, Coach, as you gear up for this season that starts this weekend in Jacksonville, what do you want Eagle Nation to know about this team before the season begins?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that, our team has always been known as the relentless, resilient type, and being that last year we had the 5 freshmen and we were such a young team. And we kind of went through that stretch of maybe 5 or 6 matches that we had a tough time in. We want to make sure that everybody knows, that we haven't lost that identity. That hasn't gone anywhere. And so I think the team is ready to kind of prove that. And that's something that I don't even have to talk about. That's something that they talk about constantly. So I'm really excited about the fact that we're going to get back on the court and they show exactly who we are.
Well, Coach, Eagle Nation is excited to see this team go out and perform this year. Best of luck throughout 2026.
Thanks, Daniel.
Georgia Southern Women's Tennis opens up the season this weekend in Jacksonville, Florida against North Florida and Florida Atlantic. They'll be home at the Wallace Tennis Center on January 23rd against College of Charleston. When we come back after the break, we'll talk Georgia Southern men's tennis with head coach Andrew Goodwin. So keep it locked here on the GATA Zone.
At Parker's Kitchen, we put our chicken tenders up against the competition and, well, you be the judge. Our huge tenders, or McCompetitor A, or Competitor Zax B, or Competitor Chick C. Our tenders are almost twice as big. They're fresh, never frozen, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection. That makes them twice as crispy and juicy. Twice the size, twice the taste, and a better value. Come try our tenders yourself at Parker's Kitchen.
As children, we wanted to build something amazing. Maybe a huge tower for heroes. Our imaginations soared. At Georgia Southern University, that spirit stays alive in our students. We chase our curiosities. We think big and achieve more than we ever dreamed. Beyond goals, beyond limits. Georgia Southern University. Soar beyond.
Welcome back to the GATA Zone, your one-stop shop for a deeper look inside Georgia Southern athletics. And now I am here with Eagles men's tennis head coach Andrew Goodwin as the men's tennis season set to start this weekend at the University of Florida. Coach, welcome to the GATA Zone. Glad you're with us.
Danny, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You get ready for year 3 with the program, and when you look back at the previous 2 seasons, winning a share of the Sun Belt Conference regular season championship in 24, reaching the Sun Belt Conference finals last year in 25, you basically now have a new group. You get through a couple of invitationals, now getting ready for this year. What's the excitement level like for this team?
You know, it's always the most exciting time of the year. Once January comes rolling around, I think a lot of the fall is setting the foundation, what kind of team we're going to be, standards we have, and getting everybody on board and moving in the same direction. And I feel like once January hits, we're always still honing in on that day by day, but it's almost time to just let the guys loose, and you got to at some point trust what you're doing every day and let it fly and have enough confidence that if we're doing the right things day by day, the right stuff's going to happen.
Those last 2 years, you had such an incredible group of young men that really went out there and gave it their all, especially last season. A tough finish of the year in the championship to Old Dominion. When you had guys like Demetrius Palioris, Paul DeCastillo, and everything that they were able to do, how do you look at those seniors and what they meant to the program and how they make an impact now for the future?
Yeah, I mean, this program's it's in a great spot right now because of the accumulation of the senior classes of guys that have finished out their careers here for a long time, not just these past 2 years. We've had great groups, great alums that have come through and are always in communication with us, that they have a lot of pride in this program. And our seniors last year, Demi, Paul, Larry, Alex Suk, Alex Amaker, all of them were instrumental to it. And it really came down to just, again, they went through a lot of tough stuff as a group. They decided to stay together. They decided that what was being built here at this university and this program was more important than any other decision that was having to be made on a daily basis. And the results come through, usually with good people, with clear decision-making and clear values. Like, the right things are going to happen. And I felt like they became very clear on what was expected on a daily basis. They held themselves to an extremely high standard. And now because of that, no offense, it makes my job a lot easier. It makes it easier for me to recruit just really good dudes that view themselves more than just how they're hitting a tennis ball. And it just builds the excitement. When guys do come on campus, there's an increased expectation. There's an increase in pride as soon as they come on here. And, yeah, the adjustments are still every day. They're up and down. But it makes it a lot more enjoyable because I think they've just put our program more on a national stage the past 2 years. And I've been lucky. I came in at the right time, had the right group of dudes, and now we're ready to keep it going again with a new group.
Yeah, 18 wins last season, 7-1 in the Sun Belt, ranked as high as 63, the highest ever in men's tennis history. Yep. Now you flip the page. You go to a new team, a young team, a lot of freshmen overall. Yeah. How do you look at this team overall, just putting them together and now getting ready to go out there this season?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it'd be a heck of a lot tougher if I didn't have one of my favorite guys I've ever coached, Matt Mitchell. He's our one returning senior from Vidalia, and just his development, his growth from coming into the program is what we're all about. From coming in as a freshman, never playing a match as a sophomore, having to step up many times during the season when guys went down to learn what it was about as a consistent starter. And then last year he started every match except 2 where he was hurt for us, and he's just gotten better. He's invested in the team, and he's been a clear model of what this program's about on a daily basis, just identifying with our toughness and what we're doing for the people around us. And because of that, I think he's been a great leadership, just a good role model for our guys. It's been an adjustment for all of our freshmen, all of our transfers, just everybody, because it's a new scene. Everyone's adjusting to a new form of life, but they're doing great. And again, we're clear on our expectations. We're clear on what guys got to do every single day, and they're starting to see the rewards for it. And I just want to let them run this spring.
Yeah, with Mitchell being the one returner out of the 7, 6 freshmen come in. 5 of them, or 6 returners, newcomers, excuse me. 5 of them freshmen, 2 of them transfers. When you look at the whole group, who stands out the most looking to make an impact this year?
Listen, I think the beautiful thing about this year's team is because there's a lot of new pieces. Everybody's it's a blank slate, and everybody's got a chance to make an impact right away. And because of our team and because of that situation, everyone's going to be expected to. But that's the way that I recruited them. That's the way that I spoke to them when I was interested in them joining, is that, okay, if you want to come to Georgia Southern, you want to come here, you're going to see how good you can actually be, because you're going to get thrown right in the fire where expectations are high. There's pressure on you every day to bring out the best in yourself and make sure that you're investing in the people around you. And if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. There's not going to be an excuse. But that's what I love about this group. This is really, really important to them. You can tell they bleed on the court for each other, and that's been a really exciting thing, is just getting them closer, getting them going through the wars, whether it's through one of my tough practices or me holding them pretty accountable. But they're really bonding together, and I'm really, really excited about this group.
Well, case in point, looking at the schedule as the season kicks off this weekend against the University of Florida. That's the game that starts out the year. Then you have your first home matchup at the Wallace Tennis Center against South Carolina State. You face Georgia Tech on February 1st in Atlanta. When we spoke with Coach McCaffrey of women's tennis, he mentioned that the Sun Belt, they don't have an actual conference schedule. You basically schedule who you want, but you've mentioned that you want to face the best. And you start out against James Madison March 20th. You get a rematch with Old Dominion on the road on the 28th. You face Coastal Carolina to end the season on the 12th, and then it's on to the Sun Belt Conference Championships in Rome, Georgia. I mean, when you put the conference schedule together and who you wanted to face, what did you look at and who you wanted to face overall?
Yeah, basically I'm looking at how we're going to continue to progress this team on a national stage. And yeah, we don't have the normal Sun Belt schedule, but that gives me extra flexibility to schedule teams a little higher ranked than this around our ranking, where we can build a nationally ranked program. Before 2 years ago, we'd never finished in the top 75 nationally ranked, and we've done that 2 years in a row. And I think the next step is making sure that keeps climbing. And so I'm going to continue to schedule schools that I feel like will push our guys, schools that I feel like are good examples of, hey, this is what the top of college tennis looks like. Now, are you in to start working towards that direction, or are you out? And the next thing, too, is I need our guys to learn how to win those tweener matches where it's a team right around our level, which I feel like our schedule is full of, where guys are right there, and then it just comes down to who's going to be willing to focus on the things that are going to make them successful over the course of a match. So I'm really excited about it.
Final question for you, Coach. I mean, you talk about the expectations that you have for this team. What do you want Eagle Nation to know overall about this young team as you get ready to start the season this weekend?
We're a tough, everyday team. What you see on Monday morning at practice after a long weekend is the same thing you're going to see on Friday afternoon when we're battling amongst each other, no matter who we're playing. We're not a selective team. We're not someone that's looking at outside factors to dictate how we're going to compete, how we're going to act, how we're going to push each other, and what we expect of ourselves. It's we're an internally driven team by what we want to do, and I think you're going to see that based on what we bring every day. We're not going to be an up-and-down team. It's an everyday kind of thing, and we're going to rely on our toughness, our resilience, and our discipline to do it every day.
Well, Coach, Eagle Nation is excited to see what this team does this season. Best of luck as you start the year at Florida.
Thanks a ton, Danny.
That is Eagles head men's tennis coach Andrew Goodwin as they get ready to start the season this weekend at the University of Florida. Home opener at the Wallace Tennis Center on January 25th against South Carolina State. That'll do it for this week's edition of the GATA Zone. For head coach Andrew Goodwin and women's tennis coach Sean McCaffrey and the rest of our GATA Productions crew, I'm Danny Walls saying so long And thank you for watching the GATA Zone.